right, guys, I'm already suited up here and ready to fish, but let me just kind of set the scene for you. We're in late January. We've just come off a week of some of the coldest weather we've had so far this season. Barely got above freezing at all for a good week. Things are finally starting to warm up. We're in like mid-30s right now. We still got snow on the ground, we still got ice in the river, but it's actually raining on me right now. So we have kind of a mixture of these tough elements for the wintertime season. I do think the water is warming up. Now, I was on this stream yesterday, hooked 4 fish, couldn't get a single one to the net. Really burned me. So I'm back to settle the score, crossing my fingers that I can get at least one of these wild trout to the net. Both brookies and browns in this unstocked stream. Mostly indicator nymphing today. Maybe gonna throw a streamer, we'll see. And I guess there's not much more to say. Let's hit the water. Now, as you guys can tell from my feet, it's not as if this stream is in some faraway wilderness. This stream actually contours a road that sees probably hundreds, if not a couple thousand cars a week. Probably hundreds a day, honestly. But you don't necessarily have to travel into the wilds to find extremely good trout streams. All right, guys, so I had a little trek down the road to get to the point where I'm going to start. That way I can kind of fish my way back up to my truck. And, well, this is the first pool right here. Now, in this spot yesterday, this is the very first spot I hit yesterday, hooked 2 fish just about back to back, lurched both of them a short ways before they both threw me. That's just how it goes sometimes. But I'm hoping in round 2 here, I can nab one of those fish and actually put it in the net. So we're about to find out in a couple minutes here. Much as I was really banking on this spot to produce, it has not. You know, I'm running 3 different nymphs of different sizes, different colors, different profiles. It's not to say that there's some element to a nymph that the fish just aren't seeing. I think that's more on the unlikely side because of the fact that I'm running this triple nymph rig, which is already presenting them quite an array of options. So another thing to bear in mind is when I got out here yesterday, I got out here by about 12:30. I know, really late. I just had some things to do. But I'm actually out here quite a bit earlier today. And on one hand, yeah, the earlier bird gets the worm, right? But in the wintertime, on these wild trout streams, that's not necessarily always the case. There can very much be a bite window. They will fall into these patterns on certain streams or during certain weather patterns where they're really only gonna bother to turn on and feed, for the most part, during a pretty narrow cross-section of the day. It may be that if I revisit that pool in another 2 or 3 hours, voila, all of a sudden fish materialize. Not necessarily because I was presenting poorly, not necessarily because they didn't like what I was offering, but it just wasn't the time, you know? That remains to be seen, though. This is all speculation at this point, so let's see what else we could do. It's going to be hard to keep him. It's going to be hard to keep him. Yeah. Come on. Got him. All right. right, and it's a gorgeous brown too. Beautiful, beautiful colors in this fish. Got him right in a little pocket outside the main course of the stream. 10.5 inch brown. All right, guys. Well, in my mind, the score is settled. Granted, I guess you could say that the score was 0 me for the fish. But the mere fact that I've actually put one in the net today is immensely gratifying after being sort of shut out yesterday. But that fish came from this really calm pocket, which is really aside from the main course of the stream that runs over here. But that fish was holding in that softer water, probably right smack dab in the bottom of this pool where it had to exert very, very little energy to hold its position. And it could still occasionally get food that was coming down the smaller cascade over here. So that's where we nabbed that one. Unfortunately, I did not have the wherewithal to look at what fly it had taken. So I'm not sure what it took. And by the time it was in the net, it already kicked the rig. So no intel with that fish with regard to what these fish prefer to take, but maybe we'll get some as we continue. Really nice pool over here. I do want to approach this carefully because the water in a good portion of this pool is very soft. The fish could absolutely see me if I approach too closely. Oh no! Snagged up in the tree. Do I really want to lose 3 fly rigs to save this spot? Oh, gosh, that is painful. All right, I'm re-rigged. I don't want to lose another rig in the tree, so I'm getting a little more lateral to this pool. Got one. Oh, he threw me. Dang. So what happened there is I tossed this rig right up into the tiny little pocket where that whitewater feeds in. And the rig just kind of stagnated. Now that happens a lot in those little pockets because you get almost a micro whirlpool that will form there. In this particular case, that fish had taken and just kind of sat. And I entirely thought I was just kind of in that whirlpool, but no. Oof, rough. Okay, well, it's time to go under this bridge. I really don't feel like going to the work of climbing up out of the gorge and going across the road. But if you take a look, this one's a little claustrophobic even for me. This thing is only like, I don't know, 2.5 feet over the surface of the water, so I'm going to be crawling from here. So be it. A little tight, a little tight. Yeah, a little tight. Okay. Well, that legitimately sucks. Really nice pool here. I'm going to approach kind of low. There are some portions of this pool with fairly soft water. Approach too close, you're going to spook the fish before you even have a shot at him. Got one. Oof. Wily fish. Wily fish. Side pressure. We got him! We got him! I want to see what fly this fish took. Ah, he already kicked the rig. Alright, no idea what fly this fish took. But another beautiful wild brown. This one a little bit more pale than the last one. This fish is just a tad bit smaller than the last one, but not by much. Alright guys, second brown to the net. Third fish that we've hooked. So far, a much better track record of getting fish to the net than I had yesterday. So really pleased with that. That was the whole reason I wanted to come back out here. Otherwise, I would have just gone to a different stream. But I really felt like I wanted to get some of these fish in the net, damn it. So still no feedback on what the fish are taking. That fish, again, the moment it hit the net, it kicked the rig, and I was so preoccupied with trying to just get the fish in the net at all that I just didn't think to consciously take a look at which fly it had taken. But hopefully we're going to get some more takers and we'll finally be able to see what one of these fish is taking. Now, this is a decent sized pool. There could be other fish in here. I had to approach pretty close to get that fish in the net, but this pool is wide enough that there could very well be fish underneath the choppy water further over there that didn't see me at all. So let's see what else we can do here. So if you guys are wondering what I'm throwing here, I think I've mentioned that I'm throwing a triple nymph rig. I'm throwing a triple nymph rig, each fly tied off the bend of the other, starting at first with a size 14 hare's ear, or really kind of more like a waltz worm. A dumbed down hare's ear, I guess you could say, followed by a size 16 sucker spawn. We oftentimes think of that as a springtime egg pattern, but it works just as well in autumn and winter. And then finally a number 18 black zebra midge. Run that under an airlock indicator. This is just a 7.5 foot free weight. Okay, we have a pool here beside a retaining wall next to the road. I have definitely caught fish in this pool in the past. It's a tough spot to fish because there are a ton of obstructions. It's a very narrow slot of a spot. Poles, weeds, telephone poles on this side. On this side, you just have branches all the way down that are actually leaning and crowding over the spot. So fishing this spot means being extremely careful with how you put your flies out there. And it's not even just as easy as saying, well, why don't you just bow and arrow cast? Because the problem is that the water is so soft that you really can't approach close enough for a bow and arrow cast. So, oh gosh, that was a take. Oh my gosh. You gotta kind of roll cast through this spot. Ooh, that got him. Yeah, nice fish. This is a brown. Ooh, he's really pulling. I'm not gonna chase him up there. That water gets deep kind of quickly. I'm going to remember to take a look at what fly he grabbed. He grabbed the biggest fly. He grabbed the number 14 hare's ear. Fascinating. There we go. We got this brown, folks. All right. Now, what an interesting fish. Much fewer spots on this fish. I mean, still a beautiful specimen. Beautiful, beautiful fins on this fish. It's so funny. Each of these fish is so unique. I presume that that's kind of a result of just the diversity that you're going to get with wild stock. You know, you're going to get some fish that look dramatically different than others. All right, guys. 3 browns to the net now. I'm not sure. I mean, it could have been 2 different fish, but my gut says that that same fish took a second time, that he sort of swiped at one of those nymphs as it went by, somehow didn't feel the hook, and when he saw some more options come by, he went for it, and I got him that second time. So damn cool. I'm pretty close to actually settling the score, which is to say, if I was 0-4 going into this, I'm 3-4 now. Not bad at all. We still have a lot of good water ahead. So, boy, we've really turned it around today. All right, I have some kind of shallow riffles that I'm just skipping here. In the meantime, I just want to really quickly talk about the waders I'm wearing. You guys might notice that in pretty much all my wintertime videos, with only rare exceptions, I'm wearing neoprene. And I know that, you know, in the sort of the popular community of fly fishing, neoprene is thought of as old-fashioned. A lot of people just ditch it completely. Now, neoprene does have its issues. It doesn't have a very flattering fit, for one thing, and it's not breathable, so you run the risk of really sweating if you're rocking neoprene. To me, when I'm fishing in the colder months, I actually like neoprene better than breathables. My breathables get hung up after we kind of hit late autumn, and I don't take them out again until spring. And the reason for that is I value, more than having breathable waders in the wintertime, I value being able to just leave the house with whatever I'm wearing indoors, throw these neoprenes on, not have to worry about underlayers or anything like that, and be perfectly comfortable, even in temperatures well below freezing. Neoprenes offer that kind of convenience. Now, that being said, you know, the moment we hit temperatures that are even over 60, I'm right back to the breathables, no question about it. I wouldn't even consider wearing neoprenes under a circumstance like that. But for me, the convenience of neoprenes are just worth the downsides in the wintertime. Bypassing some fast riffles over here. You still see my footprints from yesterday. They haven't quite melted away yet, even with this weather, which is really hard to tell, being that I have so much gear on and neoprene waders. But if I had to hazard a guess, based upon having seen the forecast, just what it feels like, I'd say we're probably in high 30s right now. Maybe not 40, but high 30s. We rolled a fish. Here goes nothing. Got him. Yeah. All right. Oh, it's a brown. Oh gosh, I pulled him up out of that cascade. I would have lost that fish for sure if he got down there. Thankfully I was able to pull him out. This fish took the larger fly, took that big 14 hairs here. There we go, guys. Brown number 4. Score truly settled. All right. Hooked and lost 4 fish yesterday. Managed to get out here today. While I have lost some fish that I've hooked, I have nonetheless put 4 in the net. So if there's any way to actually settle the score, I think I've done it. So very gratifying, so appreciative to be able to get out on a little stream like this in a pretty easily accessible area, an area which, if you knew what was just over the hill, you might be shocked to think that there are so many wild browns in a place like this, but here they are. Now, one thing I'll say is, this stream has both wild browns and wild brookies. And in fact, when I was fishing here in autumn, I caught mostly just brookies. The way that browns and brookies share this stream is complicated. And frankly, while I can speculate in some ways, I think there's a lot of mystery to that. I think there's a lot we have left to learn about how those two species, when they're living side by side in the wild, will share a river based upon their preferences, based upon the particulars of the stream or the stream system. The fact that I haven't caught any brookies here at all today, all browns, is really, really interesting. Anyhow, let's see if there's anything else in bucket pool here, and then we're gonna head up. We have only a little bit longer before I'm gonna call it quits. There's one more pool that I wanna hit, maybe a couple little pockets here or there. So we're in the home stretch here, but let's see what else we can do. Another brown. Ooh, is it? Is this a brookie? It's a brookie! All right! How about that? Yeah! Yes, there we go! Wow, I finally decided to say something about how weird it was that we hadn't gotten a brookie, and voila, one decides to show up. That's just so cool. So nice to find a native out here. Who would have thought? All I had to do is open my mouth and say, huh, where are the brookies? All of a sudden, one materializes. Not bad at all. Ooh, I forgot about this pool. This pool can be strangely hit or miss. Sometimes I catch a slew of fish in this pool, and other times, absolutely nothing. This yielded nothing yesterday. Let's see if for whatever reason that has changed today. My experience has been that this is a spot where fish like to stack up during high water. Now that is not the situation we're in right now. The water's not low, but it's also not particularly high. We're at like medium high flows right now. Got one. Looks like another brookie, I think. Yep. All right. Oh, we lost that fish. Just the way it goes sometimes. Well, let's see what else we can find out there. Fish know how to utilize those boulders to their advantage. Got him! All right. All right. Another nice brown. This one took the egg. How about that? I was going to say biggest fish of the day, but he's right at about 11 and a half. I think we already had one brown that was just about that big. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, we did lose a brookie out of this pool, but we also nabbed another brown. So what does that put us at? 6 fish now. Not bad at all when you consider this is late January. Now, this is not an easy time to fish blue lines. That's not to say that, you know, if you're working blue lines in the winter, that you're not occasionally going to have incredible days. That's an anomaly, for sure. And it's certainly, when you're out here on these blue lines in the wintertime, you know, you've got to be prepared for days that are going to be very tough, when you're going to have to work very hard for, you know, just a couple fish sometimes. You know, I couldn't ask for a more welcome return to this stream after it denied me yesterday. Oh, got one. Yes, a brookie. Oh, he threw me. Gosh, that was a wily fish. Oh, my rig got fouled on itself. Oh, well, that probably played a role in losing that fish. Dang. Well, guys, nothing at this last spot here at the culvert. Like I said, this spot has produced fish in the past. None today, but it's been a pretty damn good day. I'm very satisfied with what I was able to pull off in this stream. And I definitely made good on the reasons why I wanted to return. Lost 4 fish yesterday, 6 to the net today. Not bad at all. And I think in total we had, what, a total of like maybe 10 fish hooked. So, hooking double digits on a late January day, nothing to sneer at. This is a really nice stream. Privileged to fish here. I'm not gonna ramble too much this time, guys. I'm getting rained on, and I'm about to start my walk back to the truck. But suffice to say, if you did enjoy watching, please do hit that thumbs up button. Helps YouTube let other folks know they might enjoy watching these videos. If you like what I'm doing out here, follow along to see more. Catch you guys next time.